welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be very exciting because it's going to be a very bookish related video. I'm even going to call it that because I had this idea because I've kind of missed doing these videos. Like for the past few videos that I've been doing, they've been vlogs, which has kind of been fun, but also I've kind of missed just sitting here and filming. So here I am, and so I decided to do this video all on books because obviously I've been trying to get into reading this year. I mean, I've said it every year, so like every what I got for my birthday video, I get books and then I say I'm gonna do it, and yeah. However, this year I have been better, I have been good, I have read books, obviously not as much as some people. Like I've probably only read about 7 books this year and it's like July, but that's just because I read like 1 a month because I am slow. But either way, I was originally going to do this video as basically just another haul because I'm not going to lie, I really loved doing that haul that I did in back in January, but of course I still haven't read like half of their books and I have bought more since, and so I'm trying not to buy anything else. So I just thought what I would do is I'm going to do a collective haul on all the books that I have bought since that massive one, even though I shouldn't. But I already have read at least 4 from that haul, so we're not too bad. So yes, but I'm gonna also do some other bits too in this video. So if it ends up being long, like they always are, I'm gonna do timestamps anyway, so that you can just choose which segment of the video. So that's why it's going to be a very bookish video, because it's going to have everything in it. It's going to have this collective haul. I'm going to do my reads this year so far, so what I have read, and then also the whole, what they call it, last, now, next or something, where it's what my last read was and what I'm reading now. Yeah, you get the gist. So that's a heads up. That's what we're going to do. Bjorn is here to help. So yes, get comfortably. Let's talk about books. Let's go. Okay, so the first part of the video will be the haul. And like I said, it's a collective haul because I did not buy all of this in one go like I did last time. This is all over the times of one book here, one book there, other things like that. And I'm not kidding. Most of these are from the works. From every time I go in, I sort of be and then get one. So yeah. That's what I'm going to start with. So, but I think I do have some from Amazon, but I'll tell you when I get to them ones that I got from Amazon. So the first ones I'll show are these. And so if you know, you know. But I finally got my hands on the other 2 from the Chestnut Spring series that I needed, because when I bought my others, they only had the other 3. And so I still needed these, and then luckily in the 3 for $6 deal, they were in my works. Although I didn't get them together again. I had to buy one and then I had to buy another. So I think I'm going to say it's this one that I then found, and it was oh, I need that one. So I got it, but of course there was a 3 for $6. So I ended up buying 2 others in the 3 for $6. So I'll show you what they are. And I got these 2. So this one is called The Switch by Beth O'Leary, and then I also found this one called The Setup by Lizzie Dent. And I know Beth O'Leary is really good because I know that a lot of her writing, I want another one of her books. I think it's The No Show. I think that's the only one that I've heard that's good. But I thought I'd pick this one up because it also sounded very cute. I think it's about a girl and her nan, and obviously her nan lives in the country and she lives in the city. So I think what they end up doing is swapping houses, just switching houses. So I was that sounds precious, I'm not gonna lie. I'm surprised I still haven't read it yet, but it's just one of those books that I feel I just bought because of the offer, and then I was I will read it eventually, but it's not one of my priorities. So sometimes I get sad about that because I can guarantee that I'm gonna love this, so we will see. And then yeah, I picked this one up as well just because it was in the deal and it also sounded great. I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember what this one's about. I have of course read the blurb and then I haven't done it since, but of course the setup, so I'm guessing that something happens and she jets off somewhere, and then she's maybe there's fake dating in it. I can't actually remember, to be honest, but it sounded great, which is why I bought it. So yeah. I also, and of course they're romance, so I know I'm going to enjoy these books. I'm just not a fast reader, and I'm not going to lie, at the moment I have been in a serious slump. I will get into that more in a bit, but I've been in a serious slump, and so I've really struggled to like find something to help me get out of it. And so yeah, but there you go. So yeah, back to these. Obviously I ended up getting those 3 in one go, in the 3 for 6, and then another time they had Hopeless, but I think I just bought this because I was like, I really don't need any other books. The 3 for 6 is actually dangerous because the way that I'm just then like, sure, I'll just get it because why not? But then you can get one, like you are allowed. Like it's not like you don't have to like, you know, like you can't go to Tilma, like, excuse me, but you wearing the other 2. You know, it's not like that. So I ended up just buying this, and it's funny because yes, I have bought the entire set and I still have not read the first one. Don't judge me. The next one I have is this beefy book. Not gonna lie, I didn't realise it was, and it's called Mile High by Liz Tomford, because this is the Windy City series. This is another one that I've heard a lot about and wanted to get into, so of course I saw it in the works and bought it because I had to. So this was another trip where we just went out and there was a works and I went in and I was like haha. So of course couldn't help myself and I bought it because I just have to, like, even though I'm like no, because I won't read it yet. I know I won't. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I was so close to buying the wrong one. I was gonna buy the next one, I think it's called The Right Move, and then I realised that this is the first one. I think it actually tells you, luckily, inside, it told me, and I was like, oh, okay, because like, otherwise, I would have bought the wrong one. And I was just like, oh dear, so, there you go. But I did not realise it was this chunky, but I still bought it because, I think it's hard because sometimes I see it all over TikTok. Like, book talk does influence me. I apologise, but it does. And so I basically just buy everything that they talk about on there. And this was constantly talked about. So I, of course, had to. And then now I feel like I've not seen it again. So I don't feel like I want to read it. You know, I feel like I need the constant reminder of like, this is so good, you need to read it, sort of thing. And then I'll pick it back up. So, but I'll get there eventually. This is a romance book. So like, why is it that chunky? I'm kind of scared. So the next one I bought with Mile High, but you'll laugh because it has a bookmark because I'm currently reading this. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. So this is because of the series that's come out. So I knew it was coming out, and then yet again it was there in the works that day, and I was like, ooh, maybe I should get it, because I feel like I mentioned it when we were shopping for that massive one, because I knew I needed to get it because one of my friends from work loves this book. And so I then was like, you know what, I actually do want to, because I was like, I really want to watch the show. So I bought the book. I started reading it, and then that's what put me in the slump, because at the start I kind of didn't like it. It was kind of creeping me out. Now I'm such a wuss, I know, but it was. So I put it away, and then I started reading something else, and then the show came out, and in the end I just watched the show and then was addicted. Like, I was then addicted to the show, and so because of that it made me pick it back up again, and I am actually enjoying it now. Yeah, again, I have stopped it because I'm reading something else now, which I'll get to. So I'm terrible at the moment. I've literally got like 3 books on the go, and normally I can't do that. Normally I have to read one, but that's just the way it happens. But yeah, I just thought I'd show because I did buy this at the same time as Mile High. So there you go. Okay, so this next one was anticipated, and I was so excited. The way I ran to buy this because I did not care. This was not a guilty buy. I needed this. Oh, yes. Okay, because I read Powerless. It was incredible, so I needed this. Stats. So this was the novella Look at It. So this was the Works exclusive, and yeah, the way that I literally ran and sprinted to get this because I was so excited because I needed it. And of course, yes, I did read it like as soon as I bought it because it was thin anyway and I loved it. It was so good. So yeah, this was a need. Like, anything by Lauren Roberts, I literally devour. Like, her writing now is literally my favourite, and I'm so excited for the new one. Yeah, so I don't care. Like, buying these, I don't even care. I'm like, nah, it's not wasting money because I am going to eat it up, and it's going to be worth every penny that I spend on these books. So I don't actually care. So yeah, had to get that. So I got that. And then, of course, because I'm in there and I can't help myself, I end up seeing these. And I bought these at the same time. So yeah, I'm literally terrible. Like, I need help. So I bought some Emily Henry because I know she's brilliant. Everyone loves her books. And so I got Book Lovers and I got You and Me on Vacation. So I'm excited about these as well. Although it is like July, almost nearly August at this point, and these are kind of summery. So I feel like I need to read them soon. But I'm just like, I don't think I'm going to because I've got so many other things to read. I will. I will get to them. But they were just in there, and of course I couldn't help it. So I was like, well, I've been wanting some Emily Henry, so let me get them. And I did. I have a feeling that at the time Beach Read was also in there. I just didn't buy it because I was like, I can't buy too many. You know, like, I'm only meant to be getting that one. And then I buy these as well. Wow. But yeah, I still got them. And I'm still excited to read them. It's just, it's just the fact that they just pile up on my shelf. And then I'm just like, oh my God, like, I'm going to read them, but when? Because, like, I'm so slow and I take ages to read these books. Wow. So these next books I have are from Amazon, and it's all because I have been seeing this book and hearing this book everywhere, so I needed it, and it's The 7 Year Slip. I really wanted this one as well, and so I was like, let me just find it on Amazon. So I did, and as you can see, there's another bookmark. So this is the other book that I have sort of been reading, and then stopped because of something else. Like, I'm terrible at the moment. Like, I haven't really been like reading enough to finish it. So then I get another book, and then I have to start reading it. So I literally have like 3 on the go. I'm terrible, but I love it. It's so good, and everyone says they love it because it's so good, and it really is. I just feel like because I've been in this slump, I've been struggling to enjoy it, and I kind of hate that because I know that I'm gonna be obsessed, and I already am. Like, I already am quite a bit way through it, and I'm already loving it, but I just feel like I need to like really be in it and really, you know, because I feel like I was just reading it, you know, and it's like, so I'm very excited to get back into this and finish it because I know it's going to be one of my favourite reads because everyone talks about it. So yeah, I got that. And with that, it ended up coming in a deal with her other book, The Dead Romantics. So I also ended up with this as well. And it's by Ashley Poston, if you didn't know that. So there you go. I also got this one as well. I haven't really heard much about this one, but I'm guessing it's also good. It's just that they came together because I wanted this one. I was just like, yeah, right, I'll get it because I'm probably going to love this as well. So, yeah. I'm pretty sure she's brought another book out, has she not? But I can't remember what it's called. Like, it's like a new one. Is it like the... Oh, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like, the cover is beautiful. I'll try and find it and put it up. But I will be getting that as well at some point because I do want that. And then these two I have are also from Amazon because I needed more by this author. They're these. So I have Betting on You and The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. Now, this was because I bought Better Than the Movies for my birthday and read that because I had to, and it was everything. And I knew it would be because I was desperate to buy it and have it and read it. And I did. There was a day where I wasn't feeling great, so I was just sitting in bed, sort of ill, and I basically just read it all day because it was just so good, and it felt like a rom-com, like Better Than the Movies, and it was. You know, like, it was. So I was like, right, that means I'm gonna need... So yeah, because I read that, I had to buy other books of hers because I also see videos on TikTok of everyone talking about these books as well, and apparently this one's very good too. So I'm excited to get to these as well, but I just feel like I have so many other books that become priority, either because they're new releases and I have to read them, or like for other reasons. It's just one of them, and it's like sad because I want to read them. Like I do, they look great, and I know they are, because I think this is about like Valentine's Day. So either I save it and read it for the next year Valentine's Day, or I just read it. I don't know. And then I can't remember what this one's about, to be honest. I just know it's like, yet again, cutesy. So I'm trying to remember if these were together as well, like if these were a duo, because they might have been. I might have been able to buy these together, but if not, I think I just bought them because I didn't care. Like, I just wanted more of her. And I'm not lying, but is she not releasing another book, a sequel of Better Than the Movies, and I think it's coming out in like September. I could be wrong. I can't remember what it's called now, but it looks great. Although I'm sad because I think they've broken up now, and I'm like, how dare you do that? They better get back together because they were cute. So, you know, I'm like, but yeah, I'll be getting that too actually because I need to. Okay, and the last two I have are like my most recent ones, and this next one was yet again needed because yes! Oh my god, I was so excited for this. Like, I think I literally went down that day on my own, on the day it was released, to buy this book because this was my most anticipated read of the year, because after reading Powerless I was like, oh, so I needed it stat. So I bought it, and then I was in a funk because I was like, oh, I'm already reading 2 books at the moment, so I didn't start reading it for a bit, and then that was it. There was a day where I was like, I can't no more, I need to start reading it. So I did. Look at this. How pretty is this? This is the Works edition, so this is also from the Works again, and this is what I'm reading now. So I'm literally reading this at the moment, and I will not be picking any other book up until this is finished because I need to read this. I think my problem is I've been in this way where I've been in a slump, but I've been trying to read them books, but I've been struggling because then I got this, and then I was like, I need to be reading this. Like, what do I think I'm doing? And the thing is, with these books, like I say, eat it up like so much. Like, I love it so much. So this is definitely getting me out of my slump because it's brilliant. Like, I feel like I'm just going, and there's like, it ends, and then I'm like, what? So I have to keep going, like another chapter, and I'm like, normally I'm one of them people that kind of does then see how long it is to the chapter so that I can end it. I'm like, where's the next chapter, because I want to finish now. But with this, I'm like, oh my god, like it's already there, and I'm like, what? It's over already? I need more. Like, and then I have to keep going. So I honestly, and also, I have no idea where this is going. I just love them so much, and I can't cope with him. He's literally everything. Can I have him in real life, please and thanks? Like, if you know, you know. But like, yeah, that was, yeah. And I'm literally obsessed. So, and the fact that she literally on the release day of this, she then announced there's going to be a third one. Stop. Help me now. I'm not okay. And the last one I have is literally my very recent purchase, because it still has the sticker on it, but it's because I got this one. So obviously, because I've now got into this and the show, and like I'm gonna eventually finish reading the first one, I decided to buy the next one because, of course, with the show coming out, everyone started like spoiling what happens next. And I kid you not, right? The only reason I've started watching it / reading it is for Pip and Ravi only. Like, I only care about them, okay? They own my heart. And the casting was brilliant. I know people moaned about Emma because she's not actually British in her accent, but I really didn't care about it. Like, she was brilliant, she was everything, and she was a great Pip, even though I hadn't read the book properly to be like, yeah, she's perfect. But like, and him as well, like Zayn did Ravi so well. Like, I literally love them so much. So I was like, I need more of them. I need more content, because of course we're now hoping that we get a season 2, which will be this book. So I was just like, fine, I'll just get the series then. So eventually I'll find the third one. I think I mentioned it in my vlog, actually, in my recent vlog, because it was in there, but I was like, I've seen it in the works before, so I won't until I see it again, you know? So there you go. That was my very, like I say, recent, because I still have the bloody sticker on it. So there you go. All right, so there you have it. They are my books that I have sort of bought over the months since I last bought books, which is probably bad of me. But like I say, I think I definitely already read a good chunk of my books before I bought more. Like, it's not like I just was like, there you go, put them away, that's it, and then let me buy more. Like, I had definitely bought others, because that's why, I mean, like I said, the Lynn Painter books were bought because I read one of her books, you know? So I was like, it's fine. Like, I'm justifying, okay? Girl maths. So it's fine. So yes, that's the whole segment. And now we're going to start talking about my reads. So far for this year, because we're only in July, but from like my haul to now, this is what, well, no, actually, I think there's like others that I've read before, like, yeah, whatever. So basically just my 2024 reads so far. So let's get into that. Okay, so the first one that I read was this, because I actually think I mentioned in my haul that I was very close to finishing this, and I did. I think I actually read it that day I did my haul. So I finished it. It was very good. I'm actually going to give you my ratings for these books as well. And so I gave this book 3 stars because it was good. I liked it. Obviously, the only thing that was funny was that I had started reading this. I can't even tell you when, to be honest. Maybe like 2022 or something. I'd finished Throne of Glass, and I think I had this on holiday with me when I finished it. And so I started it, and then, yeah, again, that was it. I feel like that's when I get in a slump, is when I finish a book, I'm on a high, and then I have to start a new book. And unless it's like a continuation, then I'm okay. But if it's like something brand new, I then struggle to like get into it. And of course, with Sarah J Maas's books is that they are very good, but getting into the first one is hard because it's the setting it up, and it kind of goes on a bit, and I obviously struggled. So when I picked it back up again this year, I was on like chapter 5, because obviously I'd already read the first bit, and so I had to try and remember, but I kind of already remembered what was happening, and so yeah, then I was fine. Then I was like reading it then, and it was good. I liked it. Obviously everyone raves about the next one, which I have, and I obviously still haven't got to yet because I've got all these other books that I'm reading, but I will. But yeah, I liked it. I obviously then understood that it was like a sort of Beauty and the Beast kind of vibe, like retelling, sort of inspired, as you can say. And yeah, obviously like the end part was like, whoa, like the things that were going on and everything that was happening. But yeah, I'm excited to read the next one because I kind of know, and everyone talks about it, and everyone's obsessed with a certain character, which is in this book, but is more in that book. So I am going to get to it at some point. It's just really hard. Like sometimes I get stressed with how many I have, and then I really struggle to know what to read next as well, because I'm like, I have so many that are like staring at me that I know I have to read already, but it's just hard. I can't read fast. I only read like a book a month. Like some people are like, I've read 17 books this month. I'm like, oh my god, like, did you actually ever sleep, or did you ever have like time to like eat or do anything else? Because for me, I really struggle, but like, it is what it is. So yeah, ACOTAR was finally read, and I gave it 3 stars. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't amazing, so there you go. This next book, however, was incredible, and it's this. Now, I actually did a separate video on Lightlock and Nightbane because of how much I loved it, and I'm now so excited because she's finally announced the 3rd one. So I'm like, I can't actually remember the date. Is it like November? Because like, the way I am so excited. And what's it called? I think it's called Sky Shade. I think it's called. I am so excited. Like, I keep saying it, but I am. Like, I literally can't wait. Because the end of this book was literally like, whoa. I still think about it now. Because I cannot get over it. I actually can't. But obviously, I did a dedicated video about it. So if you want to hear me basically scream and rave about how much I loved it, then go watch that. Maybe I'll link it in this video. I don't know. But yeah. whoa and whoa. Because yeah, it was so good. Sometimes I wish I could read it over again because I loved Lightlark. Lightlark was just as good, but then this was just so good. And I was on about the fact that I was like, I think it's like double point of view. No, I was wrong. I meant the whole, like, it was, I couldn't really work out how it was like written, but it's basically written in the present and then it goes back in time, so it's the past as well, which I love, because basically it was the fact she was trying to remember, like it was her memories, like, so we were reading it as like, so like learning about the past, but it was almost linking because it was her remembering as well, and I was like, that was genius. So it was, honestly, I know there's people out there that talk about Lightlark and then there's people that think it's rubbish, but I genuinely love it. And it's weird because I don't really see it that much on Book Talk, but it's one of those like books and series that I was obsessed. So yes, I talked about this in the haul as well, and as soon as I finished Akatara, like, I had to read this because I couldn't wait. I needed it. That's why this is hardback. Like, normally I don't like hardback and I have to get like paperback, but no, I had to get this stat, and it was red stat. So there you go. 5 stars. Absolutely 5 stars. 100%, maybe even 6 stars if we're going that far, because I loved it. Okay, this next book I'm including because I read, but I also... Okay, I was very excited about this book when I bought it in my haul, started reading it. I'm sorry, it just wasn't it. Okay, so I really did not like the toxicity of them, and it's so weird for me to even be like this towards a book, but I have never known me hate it as much as I do. Now, at the time, I was like, is it just me? Am I just not feeling this book? Like, am I just not in the mood to read it? So I kind of had a break, and then I went back to it, and I instantly was like, I can't do it. So this, unfortunately, was DNF'd. I was like, I've had enough, put it away. And did I dog ear it? I think I did, yeah. So this is where I finished. Page 247, chapter 37. And I was getting angry because I was like, what is going on? Like, I didn't even really like the characters that much. Like, I bought this series because I knew that there's people that absolutely loved it. So at the time, all I'd heard was good things about it, which is why I was excited and wanted it. And then I read it and was like, it was awful. And then ever since then, I will then now see so many people talking about how much they hated it, and I was like, wow, like, at least it's not just me, because I almost felt bad, and I was like, oh dear, but I can't. It was not it. I'm really sorry. I did not like it at all. And like I say, the characters were just irritating. And the way it was is not what I expected it. Like, the idea is that it was like, oh, they're friends and they're obviously meant to be together. But I expected it that it was basically they've never gone there before, but they already had. And it was like cheating and, like I say, toxicity. And I couldn't cope with it. It's just not my vibe. Somebody actually said it was like a British Gossip Girl, and I've never seen that, so I didn't understand. I wouldn't have known, so I just went in. I basically thought I would like it because it was a romance and it was like kind of friends to lovers kind of. No, no. So I didn't rate this because I DNF'd it. So basically it's a DNF, which I've never, ever done. I was very tempted. I was like, no, I'm going to finish it, but then hate it and be like, no, it was 2 stars or whatever. But I couldn't, genuinely. Like, I felt like I was going around in circles. Like, I felt like I was just reading the same thing over and over again. And it was getting to, like, chapter, like I say, 37. And I was like, where is this even going? Like, there was nothing exciting about it. Nothing happened. Everything irritated me. Like, when they would go back to each other, I was just rolling my eyes, like, really? Like, it was just... And then, I'm not even kidding, but I saw a video of somebody being like, this book was awful, but they'd finished it, and then she mentioned something about something that had happened that was like, oh my god. And I literally rolled my eyes like, you have got to be kidding me. So I was a bit like, I'm so glad I did DNF it, because I think I would have genuinely threw this at a wall if I'd got to that bit, because I would have been like, what on earth am I doing with my time reading this awful book? So I'm really sorry, but I've never been like this before. But if you like this, apologies. I really didn't. Don't worry though, because this next book I absolutely loved, and it was this. So I already mentioned this before, because I've already bought more books because of this book, because it was everything. I genuinely loved it. So this is 5 stars. Was it 5 stars? Let me just double check. I've got like a notes thing. Yes, of course it was, because I literally loved it. I laugh because I bought this from Waterstones, but it's like the tall version, almost like the American style book, because my other 2 from her are like the shorter ones. But anyways, loved it a lot. It was just perfect. It was very me, because I think it's YA, and I'm terrible because I like that. Like, I kind of do. So, yeah, YA, just cutesy rom-com, like everything about it. I think, yeah, there's like a quote from a different rom-com on like each beginning of the chapter, and of course, I think the other thing as well is you've got to love the characters, and I did. In that case, I didn't. I just couldn't cope with it. In this case, absolutely loved them. So it was easy, you know, like it was great, and I just, like, yeah, again, he was adorable, and I needed him in my life. Like, I was like, why can't I live next to you? Like, you know, I was just like, what is going on? But yeah. Sometimes I'm like, I definitely think I'm going to reread this at some point. It's one of them where it's like your favourite rom-com movie, and then you watch it because it's like a comfort thing. I feel like I'm going to get this with this. And sometimes I've never been one to annotate books, because I'm kind of like perfect, like a perfectionist about them. And I kind of don't like the idea of like highlighting them or drawing on them or ruining them. But sometimes I wish I had when I first read it, because then I could go back to bits that I liked. Because now I'm like, I don't remember where it was. I genuinely don't. So it's hilarious. And another thing that was so funny was that one of the chapters was massive. I kid you not. And I kind of hate that in books. Like, that's one of my icks, is when a chapter is huge. And one of them in this was literally massive, and I was like, oh. But it was fine, because it was that good that I just flew through it. So I was great. So yay. Definitely recommend this one if you like the mushy gushy cheesy rom-com vibes. It was everything. 5 stars. If I didn't say that, I think I did. But 5 stars. Oh my god, yet another 5-star read, and it's Powerless. Here it is. Literally loved this. I think you already know, because I've already talked about how much I love Lauren Roberts and her writing. I literally eat it up every time. I keep saying it, but this was so good. It actually was. Now, it was one of them where I feel like in my haul, I was just like, yeah, I'd heard about it, so I just got it, you know, whatever. And honestly, it's one of my favourite books this year, because it was so good. And that's why I was so excited for like Powerful and Reckless, because I needed more. Because the way this ended, I was like, oh my god. Like, I couldn't get over, like, when they do that in books, like, the tension was unreal. The banter was Chef's Kiss. Okay, they are literally everything. I think Kai is one of my favourite book boyfriends ever. Like, he is just, like, she always admits that he's just too hot for anyone. And I'm like, yeah. You know, like, people say, like, who would you cast as these characters? She's like, no one, because no one is as hot as we imagine Kai. And I'm like, literally no same. Like, I don't even know. I don't even know for Payden, to be honest, because I feel like Payden is just so badass and just such a queen that I'm just like, who would be her? Because I genuinely don't even know that. But honestly, I love this so much. I love this series so much. So yes, I loved it a lot. I feel like when I finish Reckless, I might do a separate video where we talk about it, because then I can like talk about actual stuff, because I don't want to spoil, because obviously that's not fair to people. But like, if you have read it, then I might do a video where I talk about these once I finish Reckless, to sort of, and then talk and then have spoilers, you know, in case, so if you have read it, you know, you're all right then. So we'll see if I do that, but literally could talk about it forever. But yeah, I literally loved it a lot. And of course, now that I have Reckless, it's kind of helping with the way it ended. Like, everything just happened in like the last couple of chapters, and I was just a bit like, like my heart was racing, because I was like, whoa, why is it all now? Because like, and I actually can't with the slow burn. Like, oh, because I was like, surely now, but then nothing, and I was like, I was like, what is going on? But still, I didn't really care, to be honest, because sometimes I hate them. Slow burns, they piss me off. Like, I get annoyed with, oh, it's chapter 2 and we're already a thing. And I'm then like, oh, shit, like, what's the rest of the book then? But then I also get annoyed when it's like, we're still going. Like, we're now on chapter like 40 and we're still not a thing. And I'm like, shit, what on earth are we waiting for? You know, like, that's like one of those things. But when it's done so well, which this was, it was yeah, I can't. Like, if you've still not read this yet, please do, because why are you missing out? I've actually seen people talk shit about this, and I just scroll away, because I'm like, if you say anything bad about this book, then you need to reevaluate your life choices, because it is just okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, so the next one, you'll laugh, because if you know, you know, but it's Red Queen. Now, I've had this for ages, because I think I got this for my birthday off somebody when I was like 21, and I left it. And I kind of wish I hadn't, because I would have understood Powerless a little bit more. Now, not in it really, but the idea with me reading this after Powerless was because Powerless was inspired by this, or inspired from this. I don't know what you say, but yeah. So basically, she always would say it's Red Queen mixed with Hunger Games. So if that's kind of your street, then there you go. And it was very much like that. Like, there was definitely a moment. So that made me be like, well, I have Red Queen and I've had it for ages and still not read it. So there you go. I decided to finally read it because of that. And what the actual fudge! Like, I actually can't. So yes, it's very, very similar, but they're also very different. And I can't get over how well that was a thing. So the idea is that obviously Powerless is obviously like, you've got people with power, people without power. So, and that's technically the idea of the story. Like, she doesn't have power, blah, blah. This is the same premise, except like there's a little bit different, where there's reds and silvers, and that means their blood is that colour. So in this case, she was literally fighting for her life, because if like people found out she was a red, then so. But no, honestly, I loved this as well. And the end of this was like, oh my god, like why did they do that to you? I mean, I know why they do it, because they want you to read more. Because of course this is a series, and I was like, great. But like, yeah, it was great. I really loved this. Obviously, my friends had already read this, so when I told them I was reading it, they were like, oh, well, finally, about time, you know, like, Jesus, I read that when I was, like, in year 9, and I was like, all right, please, but, you know, I was like, I'm still reading it, at least I have, you know, I've read it now. Yeah, so this was 4 stars. I don't really know why I gave it 4 stars, but I feel like it just wasn't as good as Powerless for me. I don't know, maybe it was because I think Kai and Payden kind of gave the 5-star, like just the way, the banter, it was just so good. And for some reason in this, I felt like obviously Mare was a queen, and then also Cal was giving Kai, but it's just, there was something about him that just didn't give it to me as much. Like, I'm not kidding, but I really liked Maven, I really did, and then I was so pissed. Like, I'm not spoiling, but you know, yeah. So I actually did like him, and so I was torn. Like, I feel like they're doing that thing again to you with the love triangle, because bloody Lightlock, Nightbait, and have had that. So bloody hell, I don't know what they're doing to me, but I really now realise that I think fantasy / romantasy is up my alley. I mean, I do love a good romance book, but I just feel like this just gets me going. Like, this kind of vibe just gets me going, gets my page gets the page turning. Honestly, it does, because I'm there like because it's just so good. Like, I genuinely love it a lot. So I just laugh that it was because of Powerless that led me to be like, oh my god, let me read that then. And so I ended up reading this, because obviously this probably wouldn't have got read as quick as I did read it, because obviously, you know, because of that. But yeah, honestly, I still liked it. And obviously it's very, that's why I think when I started reading Reckless, I was like, oh shit, I've read Red Queen. So now I'm trying to remember what actually happened in Powerless and not Red Queen, because obviously they're very similar, but they're not as well. So I was laughing. I was like, oh shit, no, that's not from that. That's Red Queen. I was trying to remember, but yes, it was good. And I feel like I need to get the next one, because the way it left me hanging, I was like, oh my bloody hell. So, I don't know. I still haven't yet. I'll just have to see. So, yeah. Loved it. Alright, so we're nearly there, but we have 2 more left, and one of them I already have talked about because I showed it before. We're still on the same lines, guys, because yet another 5-star. I don't think any of her books will be below 5 stars, because I can already tell Reckless at this point is going to be 5 stars before I even finished it, because it's so good. And this was so good. I could even say it's 6 stars at this point, because it genuinely, like, but so this was the novella from Powerless, so it's not a continuation. It's the same like time as that happening, but it's from a different point of view. So this was from Adina's point of view. I'm crying, so yeah, again, if you know, you know. But yeah, this was precious, like it actually was, because it's basically her point of view while Payden's in the trials, and her romance with some guy. He was called Mac, and he was also precious. I actually can't, and it's like sad, because I think somebody's asked about this once when I was seeing her do like interviews, where they're like, where is he? Because obviously he was there with Adina, and it's like he was then never mentioned again in Powerless and stuff. So it's like, did he just go? Did he just like flee? Because I'm kind of like intrigued, because obviously I'm still not finished yet. So I'm kind of intrigued to like see if he appears and talks to Payden or something, because obviously like she didn't know about it, but I kind of was like getting in with this guy, and it's like, I literally can't, like, I was like, honestly, because I read Powerless, I knew that it was from her point of view. I was a bit like, how dare you do that to me, because I've already gone through that once and I sobbed, and then I'm gonna have to do it again, and I did. But it was still so good. So there you go. And of course, I did not take that long to read that. Like, it was so short, and yeah, again, look at how pretty it is. So yeah, I actually can't. But honestly, now, if you've still not read Powerless, honestly, go to the works, and you can buy all 3 of them for like 15 quid, because each of them are like a £5. So do it, because plus you get like, I don't think Powerless has the nice covers, because I think they did that as like an edition when Powerful was released. So it's kind of a shame, but they still have Powerless in there. So I would just go and get all 3 of them together, and then have the best time of your life, because honestly, you will. And then the last book that I've read so far this year is this. So yeah, so this is another book that I had seen everywhere and I had to get when I did that haul. And so that was another one of those books that I was like, I need to read it, because all I kept seeing was people talk about it and I was like, I need to. So I'm not gonna lie, I actually started reading this before I read Powerful, and then that came out, so then I ran and got it and then read that. So this was put on hold for a minute. So I feel like this took me a while to read because, of course, it's very, very, very heavy smut. And I've never read anything like that before, so I was really like, am I going to enjoy it? Now, I don't know, to be honest. I still don't really know. What did I rate this? Was it like 3, let me have a look. 3.5 stars I rated this, because there was a time where I genuinely was a bit like, because I've known people DNF this, I know people now don't like this, because all I would see was good stuff, which is why I bought them. And then later on, I then would see loads of stuff being like, oh, this was awful, and I DNF'd it, and like, oh, it was not good at all, I hated it. I did actually enjoy it. Now, I'm so happy because the ending was amazing. I absolutely, was it the epilogue that it was, or was it the last? I think it was the epilogue. Yes. So the epilogue did it justice. It honestly was the perfect ending ever. So I think for me, which is sad because I have quite a few smutty books now because I bought a lot. Because obviously Chestnut Spring is like that. But I'm still going to read it. But I coped with it, okay? There was parts where I was genuinely sat there reading it thinking, like, I genuinely felt like I was there in the room, like sat in the corner, and they were going at it, and I was just like, I shouldn't be here, you know, like I was like, they've just sort of put me there to watch them. Like, it kind of gave that, and I was just a bit like, this just doesn't feel right. But then I almost liked it, because honestly, them two as characters and as a couple, loved them. So that's why I was not bothered, because I feel like Nate Hawkins yet again. Woo! Serious book boyfriend. And there's a line in it, I will never forget it, and because it made me laugh out loud. And I think it was something like, he's wearing grey because like, what was it? Because Nate Hawkins was 100% written by a woman. And I literally cackled so much, and I'll never forget it. And I was like, of course he has, because he was the epitome of like written by a woman. Because he was everything. I think I preferred him more than her because I liked her, but I didn't relate to her. She was very different to me because, of course, yeah. I saw somebody once be like, somebody get this girl a pair of panties because she literally never has any on. And I was just like, girl, that's ballsy. Like, I was just like, that is not me at all. But obviously it isn't, because it's college, like uni life. I don't really do that. I'm not really a party goer. I'm not really a drinker. Like, I think that's why I struggled to relate to her, but yet I still liked her. Like, I didn't hate her. So yeah, I absolutely fucking hated dickhead's name. What was he called again? Was it Aaron? I think so. Is that his name? I forgot. I don't even care. It was irrelevant because he was irritating as fuck. But I think he's called Aaron. Her, like, partner. He was so... Yeah, Aaron. He was literally irritating as hell. I actually couldn't cope with him. But everyone else loved them. I loved all his mates. And her friends were everything. I can't remember their names now. Bloody hell. I think one of them was called JJ and one was called, like, Henry and stuff. But, like, yeah. So... Obviously, I bought Wildfire. I will be reading that as well at some point. Because I have this feeling, right, that obviously it's going to be the same. So I'm going to have to, like, sort of, like, sort of get past that. But I have this feeling that I'm going to like Wildfire a little bit more because it's not on campus. It's at a... What is it? It's at, like, a summer camp. So I have a feeling that I'm going to like that vibe a little bit more. But we'll see. But, yeah. I ended up reading it and finishing it. And, honestly, like I say, the ending... was everything. Like, I genuinely loved it. It was precious. I loved them as a couple, and what actually happened at the end was just so cute. But I feel like it's terrible because I know the intention of this book is smut and the spice, and that's the idea of it. But I do say, I think I would enjoy it more if it was not that. Like, if it was closed door, you know, as they say, like, where they intend for that happening, but we don't watch it happening. Like, we don't see everything. Like, we don't read everything. Because, yeah, it was just very, like, okay, like, constant, you know, all the time. I was like, every time they were going at it, we would, like, read it in depth. And I was just like, okay, why am I reading that again? Because I already read it once. Like, I don't need it again. Actually, go on. All right, so those were all the books that I've read so far this year, and so the last thing we're going to do is going to be the whole, like, last, now, next, as they sort of call it, which is obviously going to be my last read, my current read, and my next read. So we're going to do that. I mean, a part of it, I feel like we already know two of them, because I've just talked about it in a way, so I won't go crazy because it's already getting on. Like I say though, this is going to be another timestamp, so do with that what you will. So of course, we'll start with my last. I literally just talked about it, and it was Icebreaker. So yes, I read this last, and it was a bit ago now, because like I say, I read this, and I feel like it's because it took me a while to sort of get through, and then I read it, and then I sort of ended up in a slump a little bit because I didn't really know what else to read. I was kind of struggling, so yeah, that's what I read last. So that's that one. Like I said, I don't want to go into it too much because I've literally just talked about it, and then of course I've already sort of spoke about them, but my current, unfortunately, is these three, because I have three of them, and that's because started this one, like I say, and then put it down. So then I decided to read this one, hoping that this would get me out of a slump, because I knew I would love it, and then of course was going a bit iffy. I feel like I was in a weird mood. I think it was just at that time where I started going in a weird, like, mood way, because people say that slumps are because you finish a book that you didn't enjoy, but for me, I find that I get in a slump once I've finished a book and I start a new one. That's always my issue, is because I can never get into my new book, and I think that's what happened with starting this, and because it was a bit creepy as well to begin with. And so then obviously I started this, and then I watched the show, so I then went back to this, and then of course this came out. So technically this is my current read. These two are still on the go, but this is my current read, because now that I've started it, that's it. Like, I am reading this until I finish it, because I will, because I'm so excited to finish this, and to read more, because it's just so good. I love it. So there's that. And then in a way, this kind of links to being the next, but because they're already sort of on the go, obviously these are going to be what I'm going to get to. So these will also be they're going to be my current, but / next, because I'm obviously going to try and finish these before I start a new one, basically. So probably going to be this one. Get all the fuzzy feelings and the mushy gushiness of this, because I know I'm going to love it. And then this, because I already know what happens now, but I'm going to read it and then have the Pip and Ravi content that I need from it and love it. And then my official next book is going to finally be this. Now, obviously, I am such a mood reader that I'm saying this, but I don't know at the time of me finally starting a new book if it will be this by the time I get to it. But the way that I'm like now at this point where I'm like, how have I not even started anything from the Chestnut Springs yet? Like, I have all of them and I haven't even started it. So it's gonna happen. It's about time. Although I am a bit like, I feel like I need to read a summary book before summer's over. Like, it's gonna be August, and then technically that's like the last month of summer, which is terrible. It's just living in the UK never feels like it, because it's always raining. Like, it's just always awful that it never feels summery. But I think I've been told that this is actually quite summery, and I think her name is Summer, so that kind of helps with the vibes. So, but yeah, I know people go on about it, and I know it's smutty, and obviously with like me saying that I was struggling with that in Icebreaker, I'm not sure how I'm going to go with this, but I think I will like it. If it's going to have that, like, sort of where you read it and then it's like a, you know, those moments. I've been doing it reckless, to be honest, but those moments where, like, he, like, says something and then you just have to put it down for a minute because you're like, you're just like, oh my god. And it does sound very good. Like, I remember reading the blurbs of each one of them and being like, whoa. So I just need to. I just don't know if I'm going to end up, like, reading the series, because I feel like I'm terrible where I read one and then I go and read something else again. Like, am I just gonna end up now reading the entire series, like, one after the other? Because you never know, I might do. I might be hooked, so then I'll have to read it. So there you go. This is my next read and I'm very excited. I don't know when it'll be though. I'm really hoping that it won't be too long. So who knows? So there we have it, my very bookish video for you guys. I hope you enjoyed. I really enjoyed talking about, I love books. I just love showing books. I love holding books. I love looking at books. I love talking about books. So this video was very exciting. I enjoyed it a lot. Obviously, yes, I'm really sorry that it's another long one. But like I said, I just thought I would do it and include each sort of, it's like its own video, but all in one. Because I just thought it would be kind of fun to do it. So yeah, just let me know what you thought. Obviously, let me know maybe like your last, next, and new, or whatever I just called it. Last, now, never, next. What did I call it? Last, now, next. Yeah, do those things. What are you reading now? What are you reading next? And tell me, like, if you've bought any recently. They probably shouldn't have bought, but you know. And yes, let me know what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you are new. And I'll see you all in my very next video. Bye! Say bye, Bjorn. But yeah, so these next books I have are from Amazon. It's gone. Bye. So yeah, come back. What do you think you're doing? So yeah, her writing was everything. Her dog's barking because Thingy's here. So let's get into that. But first, we need to pause because she needs a drink. Okay. Goodbye. Chanel. My entire bloody bookcase is over here. I'm gonna have to like bloody sort it out now. Like I've bloody pulled it all off. I have to put them all away now.